Hari Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. So from this week onwards, our hectic Sunday sessions begin. Let us see and wait for another week if this timing works for many of you who are teaching, because 4:30 to 6 and again 7. So let us test it for another week and see if the timing works. Otherwise, we'll extend it by another half hour and start half hour late. So we are in Kathopanishad, the fourth Valli. We have seen the first mantra. This first mantra is a very important one because it talks about something so very basic that we miss entirely the point of it, though it is strikingly so simple and right in front of us, but we don't take that into consideration. So the first mantra says, Paranchikhani vyatruna swayam bhuhu paran pashyati na antaratman. The way our organs of perception and action have been created is in such a way that they are meant for interacting with the outside. They're meant to be extrovert. Oh, I'm getting distracted because my eyes can see, my ears can hear, my nose can smell. They were meant to do that. The eyes were meant to see, the ears were meant to hear. And to complain that they are working in their field, and that is their default setting. Oh, my mind has too many thoughts. Congratulations, you have a working mind. That is how it is constructed. If somebody eats peppers, green peppers, the green chilies, serranos, jalapenos, or habaneros, and then scream, "Ah, it's so hot." What else did you expect? A candy taste there? No. That is how they were created, to be spicy, to be hot. Like today when the Bal Vihar started and I asked, did you enjoy your vacation? Well, it was hot. That is precisely the reason why the vacation is called summer vacation. It will be hot. If it were cold, then it is not summer vacation. It would be winter vacation. Human mindset has this amazing psychology to not accept what is and keep whining and complaining about that what is. If it is too hot, it's summer, it will be hot. If it is hot, oh my God, this summer is killing me. And suddenly there is a cool wave that comes and it starts raining. A day and a half, and then you start complaining. Man, it looks so gloomy. I hate this rainy season. And winter comes. I wish there was sun. When the sun is out there, you don't appreciate it. When the rain is coming, you don't appreciate it. When it is cold, you don't appreciate it. When the organs function in their field, they're meant for functioning in that field. Were you ever in a situation wherein you twisted your muscle or broke your arm, or you were incapacitated to use it? Like the other day when Shivam was seeing all double, triple vision because it was all hazed out. He couldn't see. And then suddenly the clarity dawned in, and then you start seeing well. Thank goodness I have two eyes and they're functional. They're meant to do what they're doing. And once we understand it, they should not become the source of distraction and restlessness. They're doing their job. If they were not doing their job, that should be a cause of concern. Concern should not be ever because they are functioning. Because that is how it was designed. Cell phone, it has its design. That is what it has its basic utility. And you start complaining, oh, it gets a lot of calls. Disengage the number, unsubscribe yourself, done with. So you have a phone and you complain that it is ringing, it is meant to ring. How you handle it, that's a totally different case. But we start complaining, we start whining about a simple thing of its basic construction, the construct in which it was created for. And we don't grasp that, and that becomes a source of agitation. We don't even know what we have as tools, let alone use it. Knowing that you have tools and not using it well in itself is called abuse of the system. Paran chikhani vyatruna swayambhuhu paran pashyati nantaratman. With these organs of perception action, you cannot see the supreme. You cannot see the self with these equipments. And whenever there is a discussion that science is not against religion, science, you have to prove God through science. And science uses all these equipments, that which you can see, that which you can smell, that which you can taste, hear, touch. It's a material. And that which is immaterial, that which is not material, cannot be seen through that which is designed to see material. And that is why Vivekananda used to roar, saying that where science ends, spirituality begins. And what to talk of those people who have gadgets, instruments that you plug into to invoke spirituality. Have you ever had a chance to read through Scientology? Am I pronouncing it right? They have gadgets. The gadgets have their own limitation. That inner self, inner core has got nothing to do with the outer interaction. It is a different layer altogether, untouched by the outer layer. The outer layer of interactions cannot distract you from the inner self, inner core. Maybe first time you see a car wiper being used, you're like, what is happening? It is doing its job. My job is to drive. The inside does not need to be disturbed with the movement of the wiper. It is doing its job. When should it become a concern? That it is a heavy downpour and it is not moving. And we complain that it is moving and it is doing its job. What do I do now? Chill, relax. It's doing its job. Let it do its job. I don't know. My eyes are seeing. Congratulations, man. You're alive. Have you heard of a great singer, M.S. Subbalakshmi? Once she came to inaugurate Gurudev's talk to be the main singer in invocation. And she came 5 minutes early. Gurudev was also 5 minutes early. And as soon as Gurudev came in, she got up, did namaskar, and then she said, Gurudev, my the sugar levels are high, my arthritis is killing me, my bones ache, my this, my that. So she held her both hands, and then he was like dancing with her. Said, celebrate! And she was all confused, like, what celebrate? I'm talking of my pain. That only those who are alive can afford to be sick. Simple truths. And this truth, not understood, can become a cause of agitation. Once we understand that the interactions with the outside world, these are designed for that purpose, I can easily disconnect myself, allow them function, and observe it. When you want to see, is there a special effort put? Wait. No, I don't need to. I open my eyelids and I see. In order to hear, do I need to put a special effort? No. In order to smell, in order to breathe, unless you've been having some asthma or something, if you're normal, you need to wait, don't disturb. Work in progress, don't disturb. Fines double. What are you doing busy? I'm breathing. No, it happens. That which is a default setting and it happens naturally. Allow it function in that field. Don't get distracted by it. Does it make... It's a very profound statement. Kaschid dhiraha. Very few focused ones can see this subtle difference that the outside world and the interaction with it through these equipments is not a distraction. It is its functionality. The only thing that now I have to gain is the ability to stop when I feel like to not interact with the world and withdraw. It is a problem that I have turned the wiper off and it is still moving. Some disconnect somewhere. I have turned off the engine, but the car is moving. There's something wrong with the system. To gain that capacity wherein I can turn it on and off, that we should focus on, rather than getting restless and agitated about its functional aspect. Very few courageous ones, dhiraha, pratyagatmanam aikshat, see this subtle difference and can withdraw voluntarily to focus on the core within without getting distracted and agitated by the interactions outside. Pratyagatmanam aikshat. Avritta chakshuhu amritatvam icchan. Thus withdrawn, they are hence qualified to experience that core, that self within, that peace within. Amrutatvam Icchan, that immortality can be experienced. See, even for sleeping, there are so many techniques that people say, count from 100 backwards. And before you realize, you'll fall asleep. If you're really counting, can you fall asleep? Mullah Nasruddin went to his friend's house in the next village and he planned to come back, but he was delayed for whatever reasons. He could not. So in that new environment, he couldn't fall asleep. So he walked out of his room and his friend was wrapping up the day's work. And he looked at Mullah Nasruddin and he said, what is bothering you? He said, I can't sleep, man. So he said, do one thing. His house, the windows were covered with these beads, curtain of beads. He said, count the beads and pretty soon you will get bored with that and you'll start falling asleep. And the friend woke up in the morning and Mullah Nasruddin was counting 400,000, 700, and he's still counting. As soon as he saw his friend, he slapped him. He said, what did you get me into? Because if my mind is focusing on counting it, I cannot sleep. In order to sleep, you need to withdraw from all these. If you keep engaging it, people in the last, oh, I'm not feeling asleep. So what you do? You start, reading those and that's why I don't trust myself, read a book just before sleep. Because in that foggy environment wherein my mind is withdrawing out, I don't know what I have read or what I can retain. Because if it is engaged, you will not be able to withdraw. So continuing on this very concept, in the next mantra, page 174, repeat after me. Parachah kaman anuyanti balaha. Parachah kaman anuyanti balaha. Te mrityoryanti vitatasya pasham. Atha dhira amritatvam vidhitva. Dhruvam adhruveshviha na prarthayante. Adhruveshviha na prarthayante. Parachaha kaman anuyanti balaha. Knowing that the outside interactions, parachaha, outside interactions, lead to further agitation and not towards contentment. The outside interactions do not yield contentment. They only yield further restlessness. The more you interact with the anticipation that maybe if I interact more, my satisfaction and contentment will grow higher. It's a miscalculation, misjudgment. Because interactions and contentment are not directly related or indirectly related. The outside interactions and the inside contentment are not related to each other at all. Are you content inside? Irrespective of what is your interactions outside. And this is a very subtle difference. Not able to find that contentment within, we definitely blame the outside for the lack of inside contentment. I am not content because my work is boring. I am not content because my relationships are on a shaky platform. I am not content because we keep blaming different causes. None of the outside cause can create inside contentment. Even if you find an accomplished effort that what you are aiming for, you accomplish it. If you are already content, would you put an effort for the next thing? For example, you drive from point A to point B. After this session is done, you will get back into your cars and head out home. How long will you drive? Until you reach your home. After having reached your home, after you are in your garage, you shut the garage door, are you still driving? Maybe some kids do that. They're still in the car. Because once you reach, because you have already reached the destination, there is no more effort required. If you are already content, can you continue again for another effort to be content again? What does it presuppose? That which I have assumed as contentment is not actually contentment. Let us take a very gross example. How long will you eat? I'm not talking the time. I'm talking of the quantity. How much will you eat? Till I am full. Even if there is a dish which you really love is presented at that moment, I said, thank you. I'll have it in the refrigerator, but I'll have it later because I'm already full. Once you're full, you don't put the effort of refilling. You're already there, you don't need to put the effort. And the mistaken conviction is to find that fulfillment through these actions, these interactions with the world outside. And who is it that tries to find contentment and fulfillment through the outside interactions? Upanishad, therefore, the language is very benign. Those who aim for accessing contentment with the outside world and the interaction, they are called balaha. Balaha, childish in nature. And if I were to translate in today's language, I would have said, I'm using Adi Shankaracharya as a base. Idiots, fools. Because in Bhaja Govindam he says, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja, Moodhamate. Moodhamate, idiots. But I'm not satisfied with this. Idiot. One should say it to one's own self. Don't use this logic to tell others, you're an idiot, ha ha ha. It is to educate and direct one's own self. Once this logic is understood, can there be anything from the outside world that can penetrate within to agitate us? There is a responsibility, you'll fulfill it. But should it be the cause of pressure, anxiety, and agitation? Because my satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment is not a dependable variable on those factors. The contentment within is not shaken with the outside interactions. But those who aim for it, they can only be called childish, balaha. What happens to them as a result of it? Te mrityoho yanti vitatasya pasham. They get entrapped. They get entrapped in their own causation. They create an unending loop, which almost seems like a catch-22 situation. And we keep spinning around in that loop. And what is the loop? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Born, create more filth, vasanas, and then die. And because of the pressure of these impressions created in this life, I am bound to take another life, again go through the cycle of life, again die, again another birth, and it keeps continuing over and over and over again. As an intelligent being, how many times in any one particular field do you think you are allowed to make a mistake? Simple example, point A to point B. How many times do you think it is okay for you to miss the exit? Once, fair enough. But what do we call a person who misses the exit? Oh gosh, I missed it again. Go around and come back. Every single day, the same mistake committed again and again and again. What do you call such person? In your own vocabulary. Be generous. Insane. Foolish. Dumb. Idiot. Good. Balaha. Say something new. Bewkoof. Bewkoof means the same thing in Hindi. I did not call these names. You were very generous in calling these names out. Aren't we making the same mistake? And sometimes when we miss the exit, the next exit need not be just a mile away. Have you ever driven in North Dakota, Wyoming, and such places? Man, you miss an exit, 25 miles, next exit. So 25 miles up, 25 miles down, an extra of 50 miles. Similarly in life, in spite of hearing such wisdom at the right age at the right time, soon after finishing listening, where is our focus? Man, I need to do something because this car, I am not happy. My contentment is in that car. This phone, I am not happy. My contentment is in that phone. What is the new one that has been released? 6S. My contentment is not in this house, in a bigger one, that big house. Nah, no house is good enough to my taste. I'll build my own. We get entrapped in all these doings. Mrityoho yanti. They are caught up in an unending wheel of birth and death and birth and death. Is there no way out? Atha dhiraha, understanding this, dhiraha, the courageous ones. And who is a courageous one? Who can think out of the box, who can think out of the regular norm and conditioning, who can think of the other way, who can think of swimming across, even if it means a strenuous deed of swimming against the current. And the world may laugh at them, because the world is going in one direction, you're taking the other direction. It is bound to happen that people will stop you and laugh at you and ridicule you. Why? Because you are not a part of their conditioning. Therefore, you are branded as weird. No, we don't want to be weird. We want to be the cool ones. And with this definition, who is a cool one? Who is at the height of stupidity is the coolest one. And that is what the height of stupidity is, what we recognize today as awesomeness. The most, if you can brand yourself according to those conditioning set. And those who don't fall under that purview, the outliers, they're always the source of mockery. In spite of that mockery, do you have the courage to stand firm on your standpoint? The world may call you out, but still, do you have the clarity and conviction to follow this path? Such one who has the courage is called dhiraha. Atha dhiraha. These wise ones, amrutatvam vidhitva, having understood the sure path for stability, sure path for contentment, sure path for fulfillment. Amrutatvam vidhitva, dhruvam adhruveshu iha na prarthayante. They do not allow themselves to be bogged down by the temporary things and trying to find accomplishment, fulfillment, name, fame through those temporary things. That which you are aiming for accomplishing in itself does not have an existential reality beyond a certain point. Can such things give a permanency of stability? But we are so conditioned that if we are not in such impermanency time and again, we feel very uncomfortable. I don't know, I'm so calm, there must be something weird going to happen to me. Bask in that calmness within. No, we are threatened by our own calmness. Swamiji, I don't know, it's something weird. My mind is so calm. Right? Enjoy. We can't even afford to enjoy that peaceful moment. Maybe I should do something like the rest of them are doing. Maybe I should be a part of that. And we get carried away. We get carried away in all these peripherals, temporary thing. One thing that often tickles me, this one particular incident. A boy, new graduated out of college, after a lot of search, found a job. Swamiji, finally I struck it. I got a permanent job. Congratulations. Where? In a temporary bank. If the bank itself is temporary, how permanent is your job in that bank? In a constant turmoil of changes, you interacting with them to find permanency, to find fulfillment through those trivial temporary things, is it even a possibility? Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has always said, you all know this shloka, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu mate sangostva karmani. And what do we translate it in a very cheap way? Do your best, leave the rest. We have literally left out the meaning. Leave the rest. The outside interactions cannot be stopped by the force of impressions. Let them continue. Do not anticipate your satisfaction, peace, and joy through those interactions because they cannot provide that to you. It can never ever provide that to you. That path of external interactions and internal satisfaction, they are parallel, they never intersect. So don't ever get frustrated with the outside work. How long should I do it? It will continue as long as the vasanas exist. Let them continue. While they are continuing, find this inner stability within. Such one who chooses to find that inner stability is called the courageous one. So my question to you all, do you have the courage to find that inner stability? It does not matter if you are a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or a sannyasi. It does not matter what phase of life you are in. It does not matter what kind of activities you are involved in. It is immaterial of that. Fulfilling your responsibilities is one of the jobs. And many of us are so stubbornly, wrongly convinced that I'll think about the inner stability once my external interactions stop. How do they put it in their language? Oh, I'll think about spirituality after my outside responsibilities I'm done with. Would the outside interactions ever stop? Never ever. And should you miss out the opportunity to find that inner peace because there is an external action? Does it even make sense? I'm in a flight, flying, a long flight. What is the longest flight that you have ever taken? 16, 15 hours. India? I'm guessing. Singapore, longest flight. Take going to Osaka from here, direct flight, 18 hours. Or go to Australia, 19 hours. Talking from Dallas to Australia, direct flight. Food is given. You are hungry too. I say, oh, I'll eat after the flight stops. Or stop the flight, then I'll eat. The outside flying and the inside eating, they have got nothing to do with each other. Does the example make sense? If the cross example is understood, similar is a pattern wherein the outside interactions based on our responsibilities, let them continue. The outside restlessness and interaction cannot touch the inner peace, provided you are not out there but in here. Instead, what do? We have equated, saying that either this or this. No, that has to continue while you focus on gaining that stability within. Let the outside world and interactions continue. Because that is how it has been designed. That is how it has been formatted. That's its default quotient. Can the doctor who has to work on the heart, a cardiologist, say that let the heart stop, then I'll repair it? It's meaningless. I don't need a cardiologist, I can get a plumber. Because plumber also does the same thing. Clogged pipes, he cleans. The cardiologist also is supposed to clean up our arteries and veins around. Once the heart stops, I don't need a cardiologist. It's while it is beating, I need someone with that expertise that can work on it without failing its beat. That is the skill. Oh, it is so difficult. Is it impossible? It's a possibility. Do you have the courage to continue with the outside beat while finding the inside silence? Imagine that person who has found that balance. It's like riding a cycle. Unimaginable, right? Two wheels with the front wheel unsteady, which can turn this side, that side. And it's moving. And to find stability and balance in it. In fact, the trick is, if it is moving with a sufficient momentum, it is easier to find balance. We used to have a competition while we were young. Dig up a hole, 100 meters, and fill that hole with all the slush, mud during holy time, and colors added in. And there is a thin stretch of wooden plank laid out right in the middle. And the competition is to cycle, go on your bicycle on that thin stretch, these 100 meters, and to reach to the other side. To ride it fast is easier, but to balance it on that thin patch without losing your focus and balance, without falling off, very difficult. You would find a better balance when it is having that momentum. Oh, I'll put the stand and then sit on it to find balance. If there is movement, I cannot find balance. If there is balance, I cannot find movement. It sounds childish. Bala. Have you all learnt cycling? Is there anybody who does not know cycling here? We'll have fun experimenting on them. Has anybody learned cycling without having a patchwork of bandages everywhere? Though you fall, do you give up your process of learning that balance? I remember in India we did not have those trainer wheels, and we did not even have baby size cycles. We used to have those gigantic ones, and the legs would not reach. So I would bend down on one side, hit that pedal down, and come up again, go back and hit this one down. And there would be my father or my uncle or my older brother who would catch in the back, and they would give that stability. One day I was talking, and while communicating, suddenly I saw silence. I was blabbering something, and I turned. I saw that person is way that far away. Until I did not recognize that he was not there behind me, I was having balance. But the moment I recognized that the person is not holding it, oh my God! So many times you fall and you learn. An amazing thing, you may not have been riding on a cycle for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. After 20 years, you get on a cycle. Do you think you have to redo the process of learning it? The balance is already established. That is how this is. The once you ascertain that balance, even if you want to forget it, lose it, you cannot lose it. Wouldn't it be cool to get that balance before we take on life? Or should it be postponed for after finishing all the events of life, in the last leg of our life? When the front wheel bolts and nuts are all falling apart, the brake doesn't work, the back wheel, the rim is failing, the tire is ripping apart. I'm talking old age. At that time, to try balance, it's not worth trying. So, dhiraha, the courageous one. The courage makes sense, meaning, and purposefulness. Before we can take on life, strike that balance within. Now, the next pertinent question is, I'm convinced now. How do I get that balance? That we will see next week. A cliffhanger. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.